The meat quality that you feed your dog and cat is actually very important because the meat quality has a direct effect on your pet's health. And in this video, we're going to talk about how the different meat qualities can actually affect your pet's health for the better or for the worse. Trust me, you'll be shocked. So make sure you listen to the whole video. Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be speaking about cage-free versus free-range versus pasture-raised poultry in pet food. And we're going to talk about what the real difference between all of them is and why it matters so much for your dog and cat.
So, as pet parents become more aware of the benefits of raw food diets for dogs and cats, and the importance of high quality pet food, we are also becoming increasingly aware about the quality of meat used in pet food.
And treats, by the way.
Now, most meats that are used in pet food comes from industrial factory farms where animals are housed in shockingly small places and subjected to other cruel treatment.
Any poultry in pet food that is not labeled as cage-free, free-range, or pasture-raised is highly likely to be caged. And those animals have lived a very sad life in very small cages with very low animal welfare standards.
For this reason, terms like cage-free, free-range, and pasture-raised have gained so much prominence, and they are used on pet food packaging to signify higher animal welfare standards. But many of these claims can actually be misleading.
Let's start with what is cage-free poultry. The term cage-free sounds good, right? I mean, it's free from a cage. Well, the answer to this depends on the actual conditions these birds are living in. Cage-free birds generally have significantly better lives than cage birds. That is correct. You'll soon realize, though, that cage-free is certainly not a claim of humane living conditions or high-quality meat.
Cage-free birds live entirely indoors in industrial barns with thousands of other birds, and they only have about 1.25 square foot of space per bird.
While cage-free birds can exhibit some of their natural behaviors and move freely indoors, the overcrowded living conditions of cage-free birds can have negative consequences on the health and behavior of the birds and create a stressful living environment. The lack of space can lead to injurious pecking behavior, including cannibalism, one of the most common causes of mortality in cage-free flocks. To help control cannibalism among these birds, beak trimming is permitted in the United States, which results in cage-free birds having parts of their beaks burned off, which of course is a very painful and inhumane mutilation.
And without access to the outdoors, the quality of the indoor air in these aviaries can actually be really poor. And the artificial lighting can also contribute to poor quality of life. The environment of the factory farm itself is actually full of stressed animals with poor sanitation, and it creates an ideal condition for diseases to actually thrive on, including viruses that can infect humans as well.
Cage-free birds are fed a diet that consists of corn, soy, and grains, which is most likely made of GMO ingredients. In fact, over 90% of both corn and soybean in the USA are genetically modified, and this is information coming from the USDA. This is concerning because these GMO crops are sprayed with herbicides like glyphosate, and glyphosate accumulates in the soil and can be absorbed into subsequent crops. Glyphosate has also been found to be carcinogenic. According to the VDI laboratory, 86% of humans test positive for detectable levels of glyphosate in their urine. And dogs test 30 times higher than humans.
It's crazy.
30. And it's 16 times higher in cats compared to humans.
It's crazy. So what is free-range poultry? In theory, free-range means birds that live cage-free with access to some form of the outdoor area.
However, The government does not have any requirements about what the outdoor environment should be like or how much time birds get to spend outdoors. Free-range birds can still be raised in very crowded conditions, and the outdoor space can be tiny.
In fact, the majority of the free-range birds do not go outdoors because the outdoor environment is often unsatisfactory. So while free-range sounds much better in theory, the truth is that cage-free and free-range often provide the same living conditions.
Yeah, which is very shocking, honestly.
If the free-range claim is combined with the Certified Humane or American Humane certified labels on the packaging, it means that the birds can access a spacious outdoor run.
Alright, so just to recap, if your pet food or pet treats contain free-range poultry, then you'll have to get in touch with the manufacturer to find out if the free-range poultry comes from a certified humane or American Humane certified source. If the poultry doesn't come from a certified humane source, then the poultry can be considered to have lived in the same conditions as cage-free poultry. Now, let's talk about the absolute highest quality of any poultry you could ever buy. Pasture-raised. Pasture-raised chickens, pasture-raised ducks, turkeys, and any other birds have the absolute best living conditions among any poultry farms today.
This is because pasture-raised poultry do not live in crowded industrial barns, and they spend most of their time outdoors where they have the ability to forage on a portion of their natural diet, which includes grasses, herbs, insects, and other natural foods. Each hen has about 108 square feet of outdoor space with a substantial cover of living vegetation.
Pasture-raised poultry are reared in a manner that mimics their natural environment, allowing them to engage in their inherent behaviors. So they have ample space to roam and exercise, they have access to fresh air, sunlight, and a diverse range of vegetation. All of these factors result in animals having healthier lives and develop a robust immune system. Now, you're gonna think, okay, great, but why does this matter for my pet? And we're gonna talk about this in just a second. But actually, if you want to support ethical farming and you want to feed a more sustainable type of meat, then the pasture-raised is definitely the way to go.
So what are the benefits of feeding your pet pasture-raised meat and poultry? Now, there are countless reasons for you to choose pasture-raised meat and poultry for yourself and your pet. So let's dig right into the benefits. Pasture-raised meat is definitely more nutrient-dense than cage-free and free-range poultry, and is also considered to be healthier to consume.
The key reasons for the improved nutritional profiles of pasture-raised poultry include: number one, their diet. Pasture-raised poultry typically has access to a wider variety of natural foods such as insects, grasses, and plants in their outdoor environment. This diverse diet can lead to a richer nutrient profile in their meat and in their eggs as well, compared to birds raised solely on a commercial feed.
Number two is definitely going to be exercise. Pasture-raised poultry is more active due to their ability to roam and forage freely, which can lead to leaner muscle development. And this increased exercise can result in a meat that is lower in fat and higher in certain nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids. Pasture-raised chicken has 3 times the omega-3 of conventional chicken.
Omega-3 fatty acids have incredible health benefits for pets and have been shown to improve the health of various organs of the body. If you want to know more about the health benefits for dogs and cats of omega-3, please watch this video up here. We talk about it all in this video.
The third reason why pasture-raised meat is going to be healthier is because of sunlight. Birds raised on pasture land is going to have more exposure to natural sunlight, which can increase the production of vitamin D within the body. This can lead to higher levels of vitamin D in their products, and a study has found that the vitamin D3 content of egg yolk was 3 to 4 fold higher when chickens were exposed to natural sunlight.
And number 4, reduced stress. Pasture-raised birds often experience less stress compared to those raised in crowded conditions. Stress can lead to the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which might impact the meat quality of cage-free chickens versus pasture-raised chickens. So the lower stress levels of pasture-raised chickens can positively impact the nutrient content of their meat and eggs and makes the meat healthier to consume.
So another reason to feed pasture-raised poultry instead of cage-free poultry is going to be the reduction of allergy-like symptoms. Yes, you heard that correctly, because there are several compelling arguments to suggest that dogs may show fewer allergy-like symptoms when consuming pasture-raised poultry compared to consuming cage-free poultry.
Sometimes it isn't so much the protein itself that causes an allergy symptom in our pets, but it is more the quality of the protein inside of the pet food that we're feeding, and also other filler ingredients that companies may use in their recipe. So, for example, many dogs will react to cage-free chicken that consume GMO corn and are subject to antibiotics, but they will not show allergy symptoms when they eat pasture-raised, certified organic chicken. Leave a comment below if you have also made this experience with your pet.
As they say, you are what you eat. So if the cage-free chicken consumes a diet that is high in genetically modified ingredients, then your pet who consumes that chicken will still be affected by the genetically modified ingredients of the diet that chicken consumed.
Pasture-raised poultry often has lower exposure to antibiotics and hormones than conventionally raised birds. This reduced use of pharmaceuticals may result in poultry products that are less likely to contain residual traces of these substances, which can also reduce the risk of allergy-like symptoms in your dog. At Podega, we help countless pet parents address their pets' allergies naturally. In fact, we have seen firsthand that pets who used to be allergic to chicken are not actually allergic to pasture-raised organic chicken.
So another reason to feed pasture-raised poultry is going to be high animal welfare. If you want to make ethical choices when it comes to your pet's meat consumption, then pasture-raised poultry and meat is what you are going to be looking for. We cannot change the fact that our dogs and cats are carnivores, but we can make a significant impact by maintaining respect and concern for the welfare of the animals that are used within the pet food.
So by choosing pasture-raised meat, that means you are supporting high animal welfare and ethical rearing, while also giving your pet the most healthiest meat and poultry you can buy.
Okay, let's talk about the problems of feeding your pet cage-free chicken.
Cage-free poultry are usually much higher in pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids and much lower in anti-inflammatory omega-3. This is because cage-free birds are not able to exercise enough and cannot forage their natural diet. An imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in pet food is also associated with inflammation and various pet health issues when consumed in excess.
For optimal health, our pet's diet should contain an omega-6 to omega-3 ratio between 5:1 and 10:1. However, some commercial pet foods using cage-free proteins can have a ratio as high as 40:1, which is considered to be extremely pro-inflammatory. These commercial diets often require the use of added fish oils, which have a class of their own problems. If you want to know more about why we don't recommend fish oil, make sure you watch this video up here.
Alright, generally speaking, the more space it takes to keep chickens, ducks and turkeys and other birds, the more expensive it is to raise the animals. Makes sense, right? This means that pasture-raised animals, which by far have the best living conditions, tend to be the most expensive. Caged birds, which have the lowest living conditions, produce the cheapest eggs and meat.
By investing into pasture-raised meat, you are supporting ethical farming, humane treatment of animals, and you are helping your pet live a healthier life by nourishing them with the best nutritious meat available.
All right, let's talk about pasture-raised raw pet food. The first thing you need to know is that most raw pet foods are not actually pasture-raised. Most raw pet food on the market will use cage-free chicken and poultry. And I urge every pet parent to dig deeper when it comes to understanding your pet food's ingredients. Companies have become incredibly creative with their marketing and often try to trick consumers into thinking that they're using a higher quality meat when in fact they use cage-free poultry. I just want to mention an example. We have seen before how a raw pet food that uses organic vegetables has quickly been called organic pet food. Meanwhile, only the vegetables are organic and the meat is cage-free, which is not of high quality. So don't be afraid to ask your pet food provider how they source the ingredients. If they're not explaining it on the website or on the packaging, you absolutely have a right to know what is inside of your pet food and the quality of the ingredients that your pet food contains.
So when it comes to choosing between cage-free, free-range, and pasture-raised meat for your pet, understanding the differences between these qualities can benefit your pet's health tremendously.
While cage-free and free-range systems do offer some improvement over conventional caged methods, they still fall extremely short of providing animals with optimal living conditions. Cage-free and free-range poultry are raised in industrial barns in high-stress environments, lacking very important components of a natural diet, which all contribute to lower quality of life and, as a result, lower meat quality that could negatively impact your pet.
On the other hand, pasture-raised systems prioritize animal welfare and produce meat with superior nutritional qualities. Pasture-raised birds spend most of their time outdoors where they get plenty of exercise, sunlight, and access to their natural diet, which enhances the meat quality and your pet's nutrition.
Ultimately, the decision to support either cage-free, free-range, or pasture-raised meat and poultry production lies with you, the pet parent. By being aware of the production practices behind the food we feed to our pets, we can make more informed choices that align with our values, whether it is advocating for improved animal welfare or promoting sustainable farming practices, or just wanting to feed our pets the absolute best of the best.
So we really hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. And if you haven't already, make sure that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. See you soon.
See you next time.
Bye.